in itself, this frozen space, it's painful because we are cut off from our inner flow, our inner spiritual divine beingness. And pain is a wake-up call to love, actually, life as it is.
Hey, dear souls of wonder, it's me, it's Cory from CoryLipat.com. And I feel very delighted to present you a new format today, the format of Deep Talks. I invited Pierre Vigneron, a man of my heart since 4 years, into these Deep Talks to ask him questions. It's a vision for me coming true because I value so much his brilliant mind, his unique being, his creative spirit. I was also able to witness his work with groups where I experienced a level of depth that I haven't experienced before in groups. I also value his dedication to his spiritual path. He's into Buddhism since 20 years and he's practicing with really deep commitment. All the things actually he's encountering, he's learning. I see him really diving into everything very deeply and very committed to the detail and to get the full juice out of the things that are provided by life. Let's dive into this first deep talk, which is about woundings and what we can learn from them. My invitation is to listen and to feel at the same time what it does to you, knowing that every challenge has a gift to get more connected to ourselves, to each other, to life, and to love. Enjoy.
Relating to woundings, there's an easy, basic way to know if it's coming out of a space of woundings. I mean, for me, when someone is acting out of a space of woundings, it's requiring from me to hold space for the person, and it takes energy. Mm-hmm. The person does not need only me as a witness, but she wants to be seen. She's asking me redemption, kind of. Like feeling sorry. Mm-hmm. Like if you say sorry, it's like first have you welcome yourself. Like if you have welcomed yourself, then there is even if it's woundings, then there is a sense of leadership. I'm not sure that woundings it's that much the problem. The problem is more, am I able to hold the space for myself? And if I'm able to hold the space for myself, then it won't take energy for the other person. The other person won't have the subtle request or demand even sometimes to hold the space for the other person.
Mm-hmm. So if I am able to hold the space for myself, I can totally relate that it's much more even inspiring and connecting to be with each other in this space, and it's no problem to hold it.
Yeah, it's relationship. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be in a space of 4 people.
Explain.
It's like there is me and my divine self. Is there the space inside that is making room is my wider self, That's the space that gives care, compassion, love, that make room for things to happen. The contrary of that is when I react, when I judge, when I'm angry, and when I don't have inner free will, inner space, inner choice, and then I don't have the possibility to be in relationship because I'm already coming out of a space of reaction mode, and then I'm not in relationship already with myself. I'm not 2 inside. I'm stick to my conditioning and stick with my emotions. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say we need to be 2, is me and relating to my inner world, and you relating to your inner world. And then when we connect, it's like there's 4 people. I mean, the 4 space.
Yes.
4 spaces. Yeah.
And in the situation where I not able to hold the space for myself.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. I mean, in nonviolent communication, there is this big notion of resources that I really love, and I got mainly from Miki Kashtan. It's like it's a question of resources. If I'm not able to hold the space for myself, well, first I'm able at least to be aware that I'm not able. If I'm not able even to be aware, I mean, in Buddhism we call it the samsara. It's the circle of conditioning. You always repeat the same things. It's like the flipper ball. Is you're bumping everything everywhere, but you're not able really to decide, to choose. So first is to get out of this samsara circle, and so there are many ways to do that. Nonviolent communication is one strategy. If we focus on nonviolent communication, actually, it's not obliged. And then, first things. Second, if I'm able then to get out of this samsaric circle, then I have many possibilities. I can ask for support, to be listened to. I can practice auto-empathy. I can write. I mean, many strategies.
So the first step is awareness. It's the basis to be able
Yes,
to connect.
Yes, I mean, in everything, awareness is definitely the basis. And and the thing is, stepping out of this samsaric world, that's why on my side I choose to work as a psychotherapist and focus on individual session. And I've trained 20 years to develop different skills in different tools with strong commitment and practice, because for me it's the core thing, to step out of these conditioning things, and your question, I mean, it's a key point, like what I do if I'm stick with my own conditioning, but that's the point. And my own conditioning is not only my own conditioning, it's the conditioning I have received from my ancestor line, maybe for people who believe in past life, the trauma that I might have experienced in past life. There is also even inner warmth, memories, pre-birth traumatic experience. So those things are not that easy to be aware of. And so that's definitely a good question. What I do if I'm stick with my conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah. Then I'm just living a life aside of myself. I'm not free. It's like Neo in Matrix. We are all plugged into the Matrix conditioning world, but we are unaware of it until life hit hard to knock the bell and say, "Hey, guys, it's time to wake up." It's like wake-up call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For making it round, is like, what is the beauty then? What happens if I'm able to, in a relationship, in a contact?
I mean, the good things when we are two together is that we can make a compassionate relationship. I mean, it's kind of idealistic to think, okay, I'm not going to be in relationship before I'm stepping out of my woundings or my shit or my conditioning, and so we can support each other for awakening, for making room for it. The problem with the conditioning is not the conditioning in itself. The problem with the conditioning is when you never meet space and environment that supports you to make room for this conditioning, which is woundings and pain. The problem is not the pain, the problem is when I cannot allow the pain to be felt. And so when we are two, then we can create space for ecological space, like practicing diet, like we do. Diet practice, it's really a beautiful and simple technique and simple space to design. In couple relationship, friend relationship, community time, it's just amazing just to co-listening to each other. So, but yeah, so your question is what's the beauty of
when this happens, when we are aware? I mean, you already mentioned it, like holding the space and making room for what is there, for feeling what wants to be felt.
Yes, exactly. Which is then it's slowing down the pace, and also develop skills of awareness. I mean, I can just say on my side, maybe because I come from a deep conditioned family, I don't know, with big karma on my side, but I have maximized inner resources by developing different, being committed in different practice with different tools, like meditation is a big tool. Silent meditation, sitting to really listen at a subtle level what's going on physically, emotionally, on the mental level. You know, it's really development. For me, it's a basic to develop one capacity to feel. Meditation, silent meditation is a big tool. So that's the thing. But we can do it by ourselves, commit to group. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Then when there is this sensitivity is the first things, but pain is always a call to become sensitive, you know, because pain at the root level, it's a disconnection from something resulting from traumatic experience, stuckness, you know, then the things get frozen inside, and this in itself, this frozen space, it's painful because we are cut off from our inner flow, our inner spiritual divine beingness. And pain is a wake-up call to love, actually, life as it is. So, I mean, it's many things, many work on the perception level, how we envision even the relationship to pain. You know, it's already big things to change this. I mean, me on my spiritual path, the time I realized, for instance, in my spiritual practice, like Buddhism, the goal was not to get rid of pain, but on the contrary, was to embrace pain fully. I mean, it was already a big shift and a big change. Because if you run away from pain, you run away from the possibility to grow, and you run away from life in its essence, and it's adding pain to pain. So it's a lot of work.
Yes.
I mean, we can share a 5 minutes video on YouTube, but on my side, for me, it's a lifetime commitment. When you're happy to be like in a fishbowl, then you can be in a fishbowl happily for the rest of your life. But when you're not happy anymore to turn circle into the fishbowl, like maybe it's time to grow from a red fish to a butterfly. And then a fishbowl is too small. So this example, it's a bit tricky, and I don't know how it's gonna end. I guess I need some help here. But yeah, it's just to say, if you listen to this video, it might be because there is some inner part in you that you are not even aware of that are longing for some wider space. And you can close this video and say, okay, that sounds too complicated, or that sounds a bit risky, and close the video and say, I don't give a shit about this topic and those opportunities or those widen open window. But still, you cannot get rid of the inner part inside that is still there until this minute of the video to dive, because we all have this inside connection, this inner voice that is longing for a thriving space in the way we relate to oneself and to life. And so you cannot escape. Yeah.
Thanks. I guess that's a good first start. Thanks for being here with us until now.
Yeah, more is needed, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
There's a thirst for more.